robots will take those jobs. Yeah, you're right about that.
So that, and I would love to see. I think the gas, the what you talked about now, the full service gas.
Gas for that long.
You think that's a thing that's going to stay?
I don't think it's the right thing, but it's gonna be a thing. Yeah.
It's not the right thing because mining the lithium
is worse than the gas.
Worse.
or bringing down the power grid. There's that. Lithium fires. Have you ever seen the Tesla on fire? I saw one for the first time, and I was like, yeah, this is much safer than gas.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I need. An eternal flame. I'm driving around in an eternal flame, which at any moment could be my fucking crematorium.
That will make an interesting movie. Yeah? Attack of the Batteries.
Speaking of robots, welcome to 24 Frames Per Second with Balbanis and James. We're just having a little chat about when our robot overlords will take over. So here's the thing. I want to talk about something that we haven't spoken about on the show. I wanted to talk about it in the first episode, and then I forgot.
Okay.
Subsequently, continued to forget. The creator.
Oh, Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, the creator. Gareth Edwards, known for such films as, I believe, Monsters, it was called. Yeah. And that's all I can remember, right? Gojira?
You can't say Gojira. It's Godzilla. It's the
Gojira.
2014
yeah.
Godzilla.
2014
not
Godzilla.
Not the 1998.
The Breaking Bad Godzilla.
That's right.
Yeah, with Bryan Cranston.
Not the Roland Emmerich, Matthew Broderick masterpiece.
That is a masterpiece. Do you remember that scene in Godzilla where Jimmy Page? Da-na-na.
What? It's at the end. It's
when it comes
in. A rip of Cashmere. But with Puff Daddy.
Anyway, so the creator, to me, looks like, I mean, not what the movie is, but like visually, when I watch it, it has this like District 9 flavor to it.
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
It has that look. And it's about robots and a war between humanity and robots. It's that kind of
AI.
An AI. It's that kind of film. Right on the tip of what's going on, right? But it was shot. Okay, this is crazy. Like I thought it was a fucking propaganda piece by Sony. I'm like, they're lying. There's no way. This is not possible. They were claiming that the entire film, or I think they forgive me, like the misquoting here.
Sure.
97% of the film is shot on a Sony FX3. Now, big claims like this have been made before in the world of cinema, where they're like, we shot this on an iPhone. But what they always leave out is that the iPhone was connected to like some external recorder with like a $40,000 lens and so on and so forth. So I'm assuming here that the FX3 was, externally recording to something else, whereby making it a better. No, it's the same camera we're shooting this fucking podcast on.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy.
I'm reading it here.
It was shot internal in XAVC codec. 10-bit. I mean, maybe this is too technical for some of the people watching. I don't know. It's not that type of movie show. But yeah, so effectively, the camera that's sitting right in front of us right now in our studio doing this little podcast, if you will, shot a fucking feature film. And now, here's the kicker. It's not just a regular feature film. It's an IMAX release.
Yeah.
It's an IMAX release.
This is the first time an IMAX movie is shot on a prosumer mirrorless camera.
It's nuts. Like, this is on the same level of significance as the first DSLR movie shot on DSLR were. Like, this is a massive shift in the way movies are made.
Yeah,
Look, to the average person, this camera is expensive. I mean, you're not going to buy it to shoot pictures of your dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you might, but whatever. Weird dog people. But, fuck, it's crazy.
So,
and it has little simple things. Like, for example, and I'll check because I'm nervous. Is the camera recording right now, Peter?
Yes.
There we go. See? Has a red tally light. See how I worked that in so I wouldn't kill the flow?
Greek Fraser. That's the thing. So it's Greig.
Greig.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's, maybe it could be pronounced Greg. Fraser, not Fraser, like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Fraser.
Is the director of photography of the creator, who's also Gareth Edwards, director of photography on Rogue One.
Rogue One. How did I not mention Rogue One? Yeah, that's probably his best work. I haven't seen the creator yet.
And he's recently he's the DOP for Dune Part 1 and for the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
This guy's changing the world.
I think
he's changing the world.
Like we're gonna be talking about him
for a long. How old is he? He must be in his mid-30s now.
No idea. But in the same way we were talking, like people look, the average moviegoer
Doesn't know the cinematographer's name.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Hell, I can't remember their names half the time.
No, I mean there are ones like Bob Richardson,
Sure.
Emmanuel Lubezki, who's
Fidon Papamichael,
Fidon Papamichael,
also prolific.
So
He shot 310. He
310
lit
to
and
Yuma.
shot 310 to Yuma. That's the movie that made me fall in love with westerns. Not the original spaghetti westerns. It was that.
Like, it wasn't even Unforgiven.
It wasn't, or even like I don't know. Let's say like the Desperado, or.
Yeah, Desperado is closer to a spaghetti western than an actual.
But it's still a western. I just mean it's not what it, because most people get introduced into the genre through the original spaghetti westerns, or then you have like the Desperado trilogy.
Yeah, but people our age, most people that I speak to our age that watch westerns that don't have that whole, oh, my dad grew up watching,
Oh yeah, okay.
The Searchers or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Got into it with Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. That was the one.
Is that the one?
Yeah, 1993, I think. Yeah,
I don't remember the film at all.
yeah, it's a great. It's
It was
seriously.
310 to Yuma, and I watched it on a train. Not to Yuma, but it was a train. It just, wow, what a great movie. I could have been going to Yuma. You don't know.
Also a remake, but yeah, really.
Yeah, no.
really.
I've since watched the original.
Yul Brynner, yeah.
Great film. Not 310 to Yuma with like Bale and.
No, I actually really like that to me is one of the most underrated directors working. That James Mangold, who did the remake of 310 to Yuma, also did his first like real release. For those of you who haven't seen it, is Copland. Copland is essentially an urban western. And
Yes. It's a nor'eastern.
A nor'eastern.
It's a
Yeah.
nor'eastern.
It is such a gem of a film. So
What was that, like 2002?
No, that would have been earlier. We're talking about late 90s.
Is it late 90s?
Listen to this cast. This is Sylvester Stallone in like a dramatic role that requires almost no physical. Actually, he gained weight to look.
Yeah, that's right. And he enunciates in this film.
Yeah, ish.
He tries. He definitely.
Ray Liotta, Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro,
Right.
Michael Rappaport, Robert Patrick,
Michael Rappaport is so underappreciated.
fucking T1000. Yeah, T1000.
Yeah, T1000.
Wow, I was about to call him T9000. Who else? And a bunch of other like I've
Classic,
seen that,
like what's the word I'm looking for? Dirty, corrupt character actors from the 90s. Yeah,
Small role by Peter Berg, who was an actor through the 90s, and then made his first film. Yeah, in the late 90s. Check this guy out. So his first film in the late 90s was a black comedy called Very Bad Things. And
remember that title.
like really, the movie was shit on, but I love that movie. Great cast, Berg.
Oh, Peter Berg. Yeah,
And then this guy went on to direct like some of the biggest movies. Peter Berg is single-handedly responsible for my favorite bad movie of the last maybe 15 years.
Name it, but we've gone off topic from cinematographers.
Sure. I watch this movie at least once a year or once every 2 years. It will be a completely unpopular opinion, but I will say it here. I fucking love Battleship for all the
Really?
best reasons. Yeah.
Battleship. I mean, I've seen Battleship twice.
I just said it's my favorite bad movie.
I don't remember it at all.
It's the type of movie where, okay, so you get the
No, let's go
premise,
back on
like-
topic.
Okay.
So what we were trying to say was most average moviegoers,
Don't know the
every Tom, Dick, and I don't want to say Harry because I feel like it doesn't include the other sex. But anyways, they don't know cinematographers. They know directors. They know.
every
you know what?
Tom,
No,
Dick, and Harriet.
Harriet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Most people just. I was gonna say directors, but I don't think that's even true. Most people don't even know the director's name.
No, that was kind of why I wanted to start this show. Remember, is like I noticed that a lot of people, because I am the de facto movie guy of like a lot of the groups that I'm in. When I mention a name, or it's really rare that someone, I mean, they'll know actors, they'll know stars. Sorry, I should say they know stars.
Yeah.
So like even someone who the average moviegoer will know like, oh, I'm looking forward to the new, the new Liam Neeson movie or whatever it is.
Right.
And so when I talk about that, like, I don't know, will I like it? And then it'll just take me going like, oh yeah, sure, it's the new, or hey, it's the new James Mangold film. And they're like,
Who the fuck's a James
that means
Mangold?
nothing to me. I'm like, oh, it's the guy who made 310 to Yuma. And okay. And all of a sudden that sparks some kind of interest. And the reason I wanted to do the show with you is to be able to shine a light on these references. I don't know whatever you want to call them, but
You're not
like,
really shining a light. You're giving credit where credit is due.
right.
Because I mean, look, no one's gonna argue that what was that expression? How I want to phrase this properly. Most people, like you said, most people know the star, but a movie is not just the star. But a movie is also not just the director or just the scriptwriter. It's this like huge collaborative process. There are so many things. Like sometimes the thing that really takes a great cast under the leadership of a great director with a talented cinematographer and a great script, the thing that takes them to the next level is like the art director.
Right.
Because on its own it'd be great, but with that art director attached to that team, it's like
Becomes spectacular.
you know.
Yeah.
So like I've seen period pieces, for example. Nothing comes to mind right now, where I'm like, everything is so good, but the art direction is so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I watched recently? That was a great example. Fucking Cliffs of Freedom. This is an indie that you probably are not even aware of.
No. Yeah.
This is right up my alley.
Okay, go ahead.
It is produced by a bunch of like Greek American organizations.
Okay.
It takes place during the Greek War of the Greek Revolutionary War,
Okay.
the War of Independence in the 1820s, in some small village in Greece, and it's this cheesy ass fucking, you know.
What year was
But you are a Turk and I am a Greek and we are in love. It's like
Oh,
Romeo and
okay.
Juliet
Yeah.
story, which the whole thing is contrived and just blah, whatever. But the art direction is phenomenal. You're watching this because normally you figure period piece, war epic during a really bad era, like where there was a lot of bloodshed in that part of Europe. You're like, it's going to be dark. It's going to be dreary. But no, it's like colorful. And you're like, I've never seen this. It doesn't work at all for the film.
Okay.
It doesn't. But the attention to detail from their clothing to their, I mean, that's wardrobe too, but to like the way their houses are adorned, like things that
You're talking about the entire production design.
yeah, the whole production design. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's art direction.
Yeah. No, but yeah, exactly.
So,
production
Like,
design.
so fucking well done. And then they threw poop on it.
Right.
And they're like, here,
bad
have
script and bad
like,
acting.
and you know what? For the hell of it, let's have a leading lady who can't even fake speak Greek. You know, like,
No, that's
are you not aware of this?
no.
You're not aware of
I
this
have
film.
no idea what
It was
this movie
directed
is.
by, I will check, but that's what I'm saying. It's all those little pieces together. So when people are like, I love Liam Neeson movies, his movies are always the best. I mean, which ones of his movies? Because they're not his movies. He stars in them,
Yeah.
but they're someone else's films,
Yeah.
right? And that always bothered me.
Yeah. That's it. You know, like that's why IP, like intellectual property, is
2019.
important.
Christopher Plummer is in it. Oh, that's fucking messy. I don't know why that popped up.
Cliffs of Freedom.
Bro,
Oh, this
as a
this
Greek
looks-
person with
this
like a
looks
deep
awesome.
love for history of that era, I enjoyed it anyways. But it's bad. It's objectively bad because it doesn't understand its own tone. That's what it is.
Okay.
Still very enjoyable. I mean, it's not groundbreaking. It's not going to win awards. It's not Smyrna, my beloved. That's, you want a Greek movie from the last couple of years. I haven't seen Smyrna yet, but
I would also recommend this one. Echoes of the Past is great.
what is this?
Yeah, this one's really good. Max von Sydow in one of his last roles, if not.
Wait, how am I not aware of this?
Oh, this is a great film, dude. Yeah, Echoes of the Past.
The Massacre of Calabria. Oh,
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
Echoes of the Past. This is a documentary? No.
No.
Yeah, I'm watching this tonight. Can I? Oh, Tubi.
No, not Tubi.
No, Tubi. I'll find it. Echoes
Okay.
of the Past. I'm gonna screenshot this so I don't forget.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, Smyrna. You know what? And no one ever talks about Greek movies. They don't get their fucking place. And like, I'm glad we bring it up sometimes at least.
Why?
You know?
Because we're Greek.
Who cares?
Yeah, I guess.
They're enjoyable. Like, they've had some really great films in the last couple of years. We talked about Dogtooth a few episodes ago. And a lot of them. I mean, he's Greek. It's not a Greek film anymore.
Okay, so actually, this is the perfect segue.
Tiff.
No, before
Oh,
TIFF.
no TIFF.
Venice International Film
Venice?
Festival. Yorgos Lanthimos just won the Golden Lion with Poor Things. So
Well, I've had this weird deja vu moment. Go on.
Poor Things.
With Emma Stone.
With Emma Stone, exactly. Mark Ruffalo and a very weird-looking Willem Dafoe is a sort of Frankenstein-ish tale
Okay.
where this fucked up doctor played by Willem Dafoe brings like
Who else would
reanimates
play this
this
fucked up
woman.
doctor in that cast list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And reanimates this woman, Bella Baxter, because I think his name's Dr. Baxter. And
What is it, alliteration there?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's Yorgos Lanthimos doing his best Stan Lee.
Okay.
And so it's like rave reviews, and it won the Golden Lion, which propels it into like the
This is
front
his
runner.
first, right?
This is his first time he wins the Golden Lion. He's been nominated before for most of his films. Europeans really like him. at Venice.
Is Killing of a Sacred Deer him?
Yeah,
It is.
That's
That's
him,
a great movie.
that's
a great fucking
yeah.
movie.
What's the
Isn't
Greek
that a?
play?
It's
Iphigenia,
it's
no?
Iphigenia.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
It's oh fuck. I don't remember. It's the one where she has. I can't remember.
Now I'm gonna have
It's
to.
gonna
So
bother
I'm
us.
doing-
Yeah,
I'm
it's
doing the
based on a
Google.
Greek myth. Like I not a Greek myth, but a Greek play, an ancient Greek play. I just don't remember which one right now. It might be Iphigenia and Tavris. I don't know for sure. Let's see. He's pulling it up. It'll take a while, but that is a phenomenal film with possibly one of my favorite movie titles of the last 10 years.
The Killing of a
The Killing of
Deer.
that and what's the Ebbing, Missouri one? How many
Three Billboards.
Three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. That's a great fucking movie title.
Yeah, it is Iphigenia. I was right.
It is Iphigenia. Okay.
Yeah, Euripides.
It's this guy.
Uh,
You Euripides.
so that's
Fart joke. It's so fucking lowbrow. Go on. Rip off.
people are just tuning out right now.
Yeah, no
So-
one's listening. It's just us.
So that that was an interesting enough story, but so you mentioned you watched The Lobster, where Olivia Colman has a secondary role, who then became the lead in The Favorite, and now Emma Stone, who had a secondary role in The Favorite, is now the lead in Poor Things. But their collaboration was so
Good.
mutually beneficial that they've reportedly shot a short film together,
Oh, really?
another film together outside of Poor Things.
That we're not aware of at all. No one knows.
That someone had mentioned, or that I guess they thought it was in production, but it's apparently done.
Okay.
And then in a random interview at Venice, Lanthimos announced that, I've actually also shot a secret other film with Emma Stone
Where's
as well.
this guy find the time in the money?
Well, it was during the pandemic, so I guess he just he got there, and I mean, she had just,
Yeah.
I think she had just given birth at the time. I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah. So we're looking forward to a huge
Interesting.
news collaboration between the two.
Maybe possibly a divorce. No.
Moving on to TIFF. So TIFF ended, and American Fiction took the coveted People's Choice Award. The reason I bring this up is because I think it's something like 7 or 8 out of 10 times the last 20 years, the winner of the People's Choice Award goes on to win Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah.
A few exceptions. Last year, The Fabelmans won People's Choice, but did not win Best Picture at the Oscars. This movie looks interesting. It's about an author named, his nickname is Thelonious Monk is his nickname, and his latest book is not getting as much attention as this young upstart writer, and it's supposed to be a satirical comedy. Not much is known, at least, and no trailer's been released or anything like that.
Okay.
And as interesting as that story is, what ended up being more well known is this is the year we've been talking about in other episodes, the writer's strike, the actor strike. So how do you hold a film festival of TIFFs, ilk
without everyone contributing?
So one of the things they did was they turned to, I mean, this is a year where a lot of actors are making their directorial debuts or directing other films, so it kind of they can go and promote the film because it's not as an actor.
Yeah.
Kind of fits that gray zone.
Yeah, because they're technically part of the DGC when they're doing that, right?
So two of the stories that came out. Number one, Chris Pine.
Everyone's favorite.
New
Chris.
generation Captain Kirk made his directorial debut on a comedy with some dramatic elements. 2 horrid reviews.
What's it called?
I don't remember the name now,
I
but
feel so
it
bad
is.
for him.
It is like what I've been reading is so cringe. It's so painful because, everyone seems to like him, but this is at best, I think, the kindest words. Where this is a misfire.
Okay, that's not me. That's not me.
But those are the kindest words. Wow. To the point where a lot of critics and others were saying that if it wasn't for this situation of the strike,
this would never have
been seen on TIFF. This would never have made it.
Not bad, huh?
So yeah, apparently it's not good.
That's rough.
I know, and I like him. He's the type of guy.
But he doesn't have film director vibes.
Sure.
All these actors who turn directors, you knew it was coming. You could tell.
Maybe it's called Pool Man.
Pool Man?
Yeah, Pool Man.
Bad title.
I
don't know anything. Whoa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is IndieWire gives it a
Skating
0.
shit.
I'm going to read this.
Zero.
Hold on.
Okay, go.
It's only 100 minutes long, but upward of 99 of those minutes are likely to be spent in silent boredom, if not irritated disbelief at being subjected to such guileless, artless nonsense. Fuck.
Wow.
That hurts.
That hurts.
That sucks.
I hurt for him right now. I'm
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Guileless.
I don't know.
Artless that's a lot. That's not, man.
I can understand a misfire, but
That's the artist.
You don't gotta Thank you.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I mean, maybe he bullied them by subjecting them to it.
can I ask you? Do you know who Anna Kendrick is?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think does she give director vibes?
I can see it.
Because her directorial debut
It's around the corner.
No, TIFF
It
also.
Oh, what is
it? TIFF. It's called Woman of the Hour, and it's actually a story that I don't know if you and I had talked about.
I don't know.
Do you remember?
I'm just gonna adjust my stool here.
Sure. You won't remember this because I don't think we were alive. But have you ever heard of that that famous story where on the dating show back, I think in the 70s, the serial killer ended up being one of the contestants and won the show?
Yes.
So I don't remember the guy.
She adapted this.
So yes,
I've seen a trailer for this.
No, I don't think so.
Or
Maybe some
something.
pictures.
Yeah.
Because in new, well, I'll get to the story. So she plays
How
directs.
is that a real story though?
Yeah,
right? That's
I know.
nuts.
She directs the film and plays the lead character, Cheryl
Oh, really?
something, who was the woman on the dating show.
She's the one who got away.
She's going all through all the suitors, and
The suitors.
and yeah, because there was a couple suitors. This was all
it's the way you're saying
dating
it.
shows. Well, that's what they were called.
Don't
Suitors.
call it
like
that.
suitor number 1, suitor number 2, whatever. And so
Contestants.
so he wins a date with her, a serial killer guy, and she refuses to go after the show ends. She refuses to go on a date with him. She's like, this guy's creepy. Eventually, he was arrested. He's believed to have killed. I mean, he claims north of 130 women, even though and what they do know is that he killed 3 women immediately after the dating show.
Like he went home that
episode.
night and he murdered 3 people.
I don't know if it was that night, but cops said that probably fueled by the rejection, he killed 3 more women.
Oh,
so
there's
she's
blood on her hands.
So yeah, the woman, the movie's called Woman of the Hour, and why it's interesting is because Netflix shelled out $11 million to buy the film so that they could premiere it on Netflix before the end of the year.
Hold on.
Sure.
Taking everything I've absorbed from pop culture in the last, let's say, 5 years,
Okay.
I am confident that Netflix spending $11 million on a serial killer leading lady, like a serial killer / leading lady / true story equals true crime, but a film starring Anna Kendrick, that is the safest investment they've ever made.
Yeah.
Because that's all that Netflix makes now.
And it was actually, here's the thing, it was actually a real hit. People are saying that this was as a director. It's not
I'm glad.
It wasn't just lip service. Apparently, she did a really good job behind the
I always
camera.
have a hard time when they. I mean, there's been some great movies like Zodiac, or I can't think of anything else right now, based on true stories, serial killers.
Yeah,
but it bugs me that we make these movies sometimes.
like Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Yeah,
series there on Netflix.
I mean, that was accidentally a hilarious series. Accidentally the funniest thing I've ever seen.
What do you mean? How is it funny?
I mean, some of those scenes. What's his name? The actor?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters played Quicksilver. No.
In the X-Men universe.
So you have Evan Peters dressed up as like bad cosplay Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
And the cops show up to the door, and he's got like a guy passed out, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" "We're just watching TV." And he's like, "He doesn't seem okay." "No, it's fine. We're just doing gay stuff." And they're like, "Oh, gay stuff are bad," and they leave. I'm like,
"Is that so?" I haven't watched.
This is a real scene.
That's an.
I mean, I'm overplaying it a bit, but he basically is like, "We're just gonna do some gay stuff," maybe with a pause.
Okay.
Or like like gay stuff. I forget exactly. But he says gay stuff. And the cops are like, "Oh, gay stuff. Yeah, no problem." And they leave.
All right. So
and I was like, I understand that the 70s was a wild time and gays were like shunned.
Okay.
But that seems like lazy writing. It just feels lazy.
Yeah, to get the point across that like gays were so ostracized that just
say gay stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's genius writing because it shows the time or if it's just lazy. I can't tell. I watched most of the series and I was like, why am I watching this? I know how this ends.
Okay.
Fuck Jeffrey Dahmer. So I stopped. Sorry, Evan Peters. But then you have Zodiac, which is like probably one.
Zodiac is near perfection. David Fincher.
It's almost perfect. I think I know him, David Fincher.
Yeah.
Zodiac is phenomenal. It's the movie that made me stop hating Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, where you saw him as like...
I saw him as an actor for the first time. Is that before or after Sands of Time?
It was before.
That's a bad movie.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen,
bad.
For every Sands of Time and for every... What was that other one that was a misfire?
Who looked at like the concept art after day one of principal photography and some of the rushes of Sands of Time, and they're like, guys, we're going to make this movie. Because right away, you're like, this is a mistake.
I think it was Jerry Bruckheimer.
We shouldn't be doing this. Oh, fucking Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
That's a bad movie.
Nah, man, it was not. It was not good. It was not good.
Sands
But
of
again, when you talk about accidentally hilarious,
Sands of
Prince
Time.
of Persia,
Yeah,
Sands
Prince
of
of Persia
Time
is
is
great.
up there.
It's definitely up there.
Do you know who Glenn Powell is?
Yes, I believe that I do. I can't picture his face. He's an actor.
He's an actor.
He's an actor in his
Yeah.
60s.
No,
No,
he is an
that's someone
actor in his 30s. But you will have seen him. He's a young and up and coming.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
Okay, fine. You didn't watch Top Gun Maverick?
I did. Oh, it's
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah.
I didn't look at him here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how he always
No,
looks.
fair enough, yeah.
And look at the photo that they showed of him.
Yeah. Okay.
I recognize
the
him.
photo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's OC guy. He was on the OC
no,
when he was young.
never on. He looks like Chris
They-
Carmack.
Oh, okay.
or Ben
Yes,
McKenzie.
yes,
Yeah. Okay. No, but
I thought he was.
Glenn Powell has been slowly and steadily rising
Okay.
in Hollywood. Now that we mentioned Top Gun Maverick, so you watched the film, right? So he
course, yeah.
auditioned for the role that eventually went to Miles Teller. And it
Okay.
was down to him or Miles Teller.
I have beef with Miles Teller, but go on.
We'll get into that after
Yeah.
this because I'm very curious. Why would anybody have beef with Miles
Serious
Teller?
beef. Go on.
We'll get to it. So it was like the role of Rooster, right? Who's Goose's son. And ultimately, Miles Teller won the role.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise and Joseph Kosinski were so impressed by Glenn Powell's audition that they beefed up that secondary role where he's featured. He's like the main supporting
Yes.
character, just to give him more screen time. They just went back and rewrote.
He was
that
like a
role.
new Iceman.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
vibe,
Gave
right?
that old school Val Kilmer vibes. So that was a huge breakout for him last year, and he just needs. He also had a film called Devotion, which was also a pilot, but this was Korean War.
Yeah.
Which was really solid as well. And he needs that moment. So he had a film at TIFF under Richard Linklater.
Okay.
Richard Linklater of Dazed and Confused, Suburbia, the one who made that film Boyhood, which was shot over like 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Richard-
Okay.
yeah, I know.
He's also doing another film that's going to be shot
Oh,
over
really?
like 30 years or something.
What a psycho. Good for him.
So actually, he did a film a couple of years ago. You probably won't have seen it, but you might have heard of it. Everybody Wants Some.
I'm not sure. I does not.
It's
ringing any
in the
bells.
same vibe and time period as Dazed and Confused. And Glenn
Okay.
Powell has a role in that, and that's where they kind of hit it off.
Okay.
So Richard and Glenn wrote this movie called Hitman, where Glenn Powell plays a guy who, like a pretty low-key guy, who his job is to work undercover for the police, disguising or pretending to be a hitman, like soliciting that people were going to like hire to
So
kill
they can
someone.
entrap people in
So they can
conspiracy
entrap
to
them.
commit murder.
And he
Collusion
falls
or
he
whatever.
falls in love with someone that he's supposed to be arresting or getting
Or
in
whatever,
trouble,
yeah.
whatever.
He breaks the first rule of undercover work.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the film was a darling at TIFF,
Okay.
and interesting for Powell because he co-wrote it as well. But Netflix shelled out $20 million for that film. That's how
How
bad.
does Netflix? You know what? Can we just do this for a second?
Sure.
Hold on. I'm confused. How does Netflix make their money back? Okay. I know they have subscriptions,
Yeah.
but I don't see any other monetization within the platform. Right? There's no ads. Right?
Well,
There's-
there is now.
There is.
I think there's a ads supported version.
Oh, well, I was not aware of that. So that explains
yeah.
some of it. But like, how much money are they making on subscriptions? Like, ever since we moved away from the classic theatrical release model and we've moved to the Netflix era, at first I was like, people are paying monthly for this. They're making bank.
Right.
Then as time went on, I'm like, people are paying monthly for this. How are they making bank? Because how many subscribers do they have? Even if you did that math, what
Does it justify the
does it
amount they're
justify spending,
paying
you know, in a single quarter, spending
content?
$100 million on producing content? Like Apple, for example, which is producing phenomenal content lately. I get it. They're Apple. They have the GDP of 6 countries. They don't give a shit. Like, they don't care. They can spend
right.
that money.
Sure.
You know, like,
I think they
here's a good
promised they were
example
gonna
of
spend,
Apple being Apple, okay?
They were going to spend $4 billion in 2023, I think.
Fucking let's do it.
Content.
Give everyone $10 in the world, you know? Apple in Invasion, which is an Apple original series, which I've been watching. I just started second season. I don't know if this is a spoiler. I really hope it's not. I really don't feel like it's a spoiler, but the movie's called Invasion. Obviously, the show, the series. The series is about an alien invasion, okay?
Right.
The world is in disarray because we're being invaded. You know, it's got like post-apocalypse vibes. But everyone's phones work. And they're all iPhones.
I loved that trailer, but I heard season 1 is incredibly disappointing.
The only reason I stayed through season 1 is because I really appreciate the different route they're taking with the antagonists, the aliens. I like that I don't understand what's happening yet. And I'm like way too disproportionately amused by, I forget her last name. Her first name is Golshifteh. She's a Persian actress. She plays the lead.
Okay.
And I think her first name is amazing. I just like saying it at the beginning of every episode. I'm
Say
like,
it again.
Golshifteh. It's just fun to say. Because I know that's how she says it, right? Because she speaks Farsi.
Sure.
Golshifteh. And you're like, what a weird, that's a name I wasn't expecting to see in a as a lead role. So I watch it. I'm like, hey, she's great.
Okay.
Sure, maybe I'm an asshole because I'm amused by her name, but she's really good in the role. And I didn't expect her role to take that arc. And I was like, oh, this is super interesting.
Right.
The rest of the show is okay. But I mean, I want to see how it goes because I want to find out about these invasion guys, things, whatever.
So we're talking about
Apple's like, we're spending all this money. We can't have them not have iPhones. So like, it's the end of the world. Cities have collapsed. Part of the world is like in quarantine zones or whatever. Like not quarantine zones, but like you can't live there.
Right.
But everyone has an iPhone and they're still showing pictures. I saw an alien. And you're like, how does your iPhone work? How is the power grid up? How are there still 5G satellites? Like, what's going on? And you're like, oh, because Anna brought it up yesterday when we were watching it. Why do they have cell phones? I go, because Apple made this.
Right.
They have to show their fucking phones.
It's what pays for the show, right?
Yeah, and that's I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But
so
like,
Netflix.
But that's Apple. Netflix. How does Netflix make their money? Like, I don't know. Now, how do they make their money? How can they justify the money they're spending?
Right. Well, there's got to be.
Andrew Schultz had come out and made like a claim about why they won't release their subscriber count.
Right.
Because he thinks they're lying about it.
Yeah.
And that if they were to tell the truth, it would tank their stocks. Which, I mean, it's possible, but I think unlikely. It's possible, but not probable.
Well, you're either committing the world's greatest act of fraud.
It's the ultimate grift, or it isn't.
Yeah.
One day you'll watch a movie on Netflix about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But that's what I've never understood. Like, how can they spend
Here's what
that?
I'm going to apologize.
My brain
to you.
is always, short films, right?
Right.
That's my background. That's what I'm used to funding and budgeting for in productions. Now that I'm looking at what it's going to take to fund a feature, I'm like, what am I even doing here?
Right. Okay.
Like, what am I doing with my life? And I'm not talking about a multi-million-dollar feature. We're talking about like a sad little indie, right? It's mind-blowing, right?
I think an entire episode could be dedicated to the idea of streaming.
How they fund streaming
and the streaming war.
Not only streaming wars, it's also studios and how they fund.
Yeah.
Because Netflix is a studio. It's crazy because before you had the studio system and then you had the theater system.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Maybe high up the chain, it was the same guy. Maybe. In some instances. But now, Netflix is the studio and the theater. Apple is the theater and the studio.
Right.
So it's super interesting. Like, they're creating content for their own ecosystem. And I think it's probably not to the detriment of the content most of the time. I think it allows them to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. And you know what? There's people who are like, everything on Netflix is trash.
No.
You know what bothers me about that is that, hey, man, the thing that you just called Netflix trash, like, someone really like tried hard to like, and it was their dream to like make a movie, and no studio was going to give them money to make this. You know what I mean? It always bums me out. It's like, hey, you know what? You didn't like it. Cool. You didn't like it.
Like, to come around and say like,
I'm canceling my Netflix because all they have is bad movies and shit like that.
I mean, first of all, they don't only have bad movies. I would argue that anyone that says that has terrible taste in movies.
Yeah.
And they only want one specific kind of movie. They watched all 6 of them, and now they're done with Netflix.
Right.
And that's fine. Fuck that guy or girl or whatever. But, I mean, there are tons of... There's so much stuff on... Just forget everything else.
Yeah.
Forget Crave. Forget...
Just talking about straight up Netflix.
Netflix. You can watch Netflix your whole life. You can spend the next 10 years and not finish it.
Don't do that, though, because there's a lot of bad stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff on
Look, there's
Prime.
always a lot of bad movies.
stuff. Yeah.
Even before all this, like, I've gone to the theater as a kid, excited, have paid money, got my popcorn, and sat down and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And been like, this is bad. This is arguably...
But what are you going to say? I'm never going to the movies again because it was a really bad movie.
I was so excited, I'm never going to the movies. Everything they show is bad. You saw one movie. Okay, Batman Forever. Not the worst movie ever made, but I was like, this is not what I was here for.
Do you remember the story? I thought you laughed a lot.
Which one?
So, for those that don't know, Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, when they were making Batman Forever, did not get along. This is a great
story. I will be quiet. Now I'm taking my microphone away.
and so Jim Carrey once ran into Tommy Lee Jones at a restaurant and went to like shake his hand or give him a hug or whatever. and he says it in it. You can find the interview, and he's like, Tommy Lee Jones was visibly shaking with anger, and when Jim Carrey asked, like, dude, what's your problem? The quote that is popular is that, I don't know if Tommy Lee Jones actually said that, but it's a very Tommy Lee Jones thing to say. He looked at Jim Carrey and said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery," and I think that's just the greatest.
You know what it is?
The greatest insult.
He told me the story a few weeks ago, and I laughed so fucking hard. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, yes, it does sound so Tommy Lee, but also, this is coming from Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it sounds like Jim Carrey.
And it
doing
sounds
Tommy Lee Jones.
like someone smart enough,
Yeah,
like Jim Carrey,
Carrey.
writing for Tommy
Tommy
Lee
Lee
Jones.
Jones.
And I was like, either way, it's a good story. It
I
doesn't matter.
still want to find a way to put that. I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
It's a great line.
That's a fantastic line.
Tommy Lee Jones. What's he up to? Is he dead? He's not.
No, he's not dead.
He's
Tommy Lee
retired.
Jones actually just had a bit of a hit at TIFF as well in a
been
movie
like
with
15 years.
with Jamie Foxx on a big
Really?
story.
Interesting.
Okay, hold on though, because
Yeah.
we went over this so quickly,
Which part?
and I need to know.
Yeah.
All right, you said
I said
something
what, sir?
insane. You said
Miles
you have
Teller.
beef with Miles Teller.
Remind me the name of the movie that introduced us all to Miles Teller, where he becomes an accidental supervillain. Shit, spoiler alert. Maybe don't give the title.
Where he becomes an accident.
Is that it? With the meteorite shit?
No, you're.
Am I mixing up timelines?
What timeline are you in? Okay, Miles Teller has a cameo in a party film called Project X.
Not Project X.
You're thinking about Chronicle.
Yes.
And Miles Teller is not in Chronicle.
Yes, he is. Who am I mixing him up with?
You're thinking of Dane DeHaan.
Am I?
Yeah.
Did I mix up two? Then I have no beef with Miles Teller.
So D-A-N-E.
I know how to spell Dahan. He was my sound guy. Not that Dahan, another Dahan.
Yeah.
Ooh, Danny Masterson just popped up for a second. Awkward. No, I can't find it. It's not like that. It's 2 A's, huh?
Yeah, two A's, yeah.
Dane DeHaan. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Miles Teller.
Miles Teller was not in Chronicle?
Miles Teller was not in
Well, then I rescind my my beef.
Yeah.
Our quarrel is squashed, Miles Teller. You know what happened? I know what happened. I just figured it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're not going to like it. You're going to be mad.
I probably
So
will.
I loved Chronicle.
Right.
I thought that was phenomenal. Who directed that?
Michael B. Jordan was in
Michael B. Jordan was that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's the film that introduced. Okay, I know what happened.
Okay.
Follow my timeline. My
All right,
Phil
let's
timeline.
let's go.
Chronicle.
Yeah.
Introduces me to Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
Miles Teller at some time in the past also becomes introduced to me. I'm not sure where. Probably Project X. I think that's probably
The only link.
Wait.
Okay.
You know the link already, and I'm getting there.
okay,
You're going
right.
to be mad.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Michael B. Jordan goes on to be a successful film actor and potentially our new Denzel. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Yeah.
Not because he's black. I'm just saying because he's talented.
Arguments can be made. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. He's. I like Michael B. Jordan.
I love Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
Pineapple Station. Is that what it's called? That's not what it's called. Mixed that up with Pineapple Express. Fruitvale Station. Is that what it's called?
I need a new co-host.
What is that fucking movie called?
Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale Station. What did I call it? Pineapple Express.
You call it Pineapple Station. So if anyone would like to apply to be my new co-host.
Wait. Okay. Then Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller make Fantastic Four, which for some reason rips off the color tones, the grade, and the shooting style, less the POV stuff, of Chronicle. It's very obvious if you watch them back to back.
Do you know why?
Same director.
It's the same director.
Yeah. There you go. It's not a ripoff. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
I noticed that though.
Josh Trank, yeah.
So now I've mixed up Fantastic Four with Chronicle. And I thought that Dane DeHaan was actually
Miles
Miles
Teller.
Teller.
Right.
And I was pissed off because I don't see him enough. But I've been thinking of Miles Teller, knowing full well who he is, enjoying his mustache, and then looking for Dane DeHaan in other films going, where's Miles Teller?
Dane DeHaan eventually ended up playing...
He's on a Netflix series, isn't he?
No, it was a Prime series.
Prime series.
Yeah, he ended up playing Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the Andrew Garfield
I'm
Spider-Man.
going to die. I can't stop thinking about Pineapple Station.
Awesome. Awful.
You know how I mixed that up, eh?
Pineapple Express.
It's racist. You want to know?
Okay, go.
No, you don't. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. I laughed so hard it hurt. Pineapple Express is a great movie.
Pineapple Express
And also, Pineapple Express, the strain, not the film, probably the reason why I can't remember a lot of things. Because in those years, you know, I was sampling the wares.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Fuck.
That was amazing.
What happened to Lawrence Fishburne? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, I hope everyone's having a good time as we are. Are you dead? You're dead. All right, guys, I'm calling it. It's been another successful episode. You all right? Of 24 frames per second with Balabanos and James. I don't know how long this episode was. It's okay, because anything we didn't cover, we'll get in the next one.
He's Balabanos, I'm James, and Lawrence Fishburne was in the John Wick movies. Catch you guys next time.
Yeah, he was in that, where he does the thing with the long coat.